What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Noble Savage Brewing Company, and they are out of Glen, Cove, New York, and this is their Dreamer's Disease. So this is a double IPA that comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review, and this can is approximately 1 month old. So recently I dipped my toes into the secondary market and picked up 8 different beers, 3 of which are from Noble Savage, 3 from Root and Branch Brewing, and 2 from the Test Brewery. All of the breweries are in the New York City / Long Island region. This is the second of 3 Noble Savage beers that I'm reviewing from the Hull. The first one was their OGs, Killers, and Champions. Really delicious double IPA. Wasn't mind-blowing. I gave it a 4.2 out of 5, but it didn't move me like the first beer I ever had from them and reviewed, their Psychedelic Dinosaur, which did blow my mind. It was absolutely delicious. Now this sounds very interesting. The hop bill is kind of wild. It is brewed with New Zealand Cascade, Motueka, and Paradisi hops. I think they're all New Zealand hops for the most part. And yeah, this just sounds right into my wheelhouse, so I'm hoping this one is quite delicious. Again, a very unique hop bill. I'm definitely pumped up for this one. So we're using the Treehouse glass instead of the big oversized stemless wine glass, just because why not? Let's give it a pour. Oh my God, that's very light. That looks fantastic. That was a pretty good pour. Now, yeah, that has the milky goodness that a lot of people seek out nowadays. On camera, it's probably going to be a little bit more dull, maybe not as vibrant. In person, has this very light kind of yellow golden color. Again, very milky looking. Almost 3 fingers. It's like 2.5 fingers. Well, 2 fat fingers that I have of a off-white, super creamy looking. Had a little bit of soap sudsy, but mostly creamy. Hold it up to light. Yeah, it's murky, it's turbid, you can't see through it. That looks like a absolutely beautiful hazy double IPA. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it based just on the look of this beer, how it poured, and everything else good nose. Oh shit! All right, rein it in, Yosef, because listen. This is when I'm seeking out like these hype breweries and these harder to get breweries that are in the secondary. This is the type of nose off of that first whiff that I want. I want something that's going to move me. I want something that's going to be impactful. This nose off of that first sniff is fantastic. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God damn it. So one thing I know about Noble Savage that I've seen a lot of people like and dislike. Very dank. The first beer I had, ranky dank, just like, ooh. Second beer had a little bit of that in the nose, didn't really translate into the taste. This it's back on its bullshit. It is ranky dank. It gives me the onion garlic of old school like Summit hops that I had 10, 12 years ago. It's so, oh my God, it's like almost like a stinky cheese, which I've used before. That's how dank it is. But underneath that, layers, absolute layers of a lot of, to me, citrus fruit. There's white grapefruit, there's ruby red grapefruit, juicy orange. There's a little bit of that lemon lime you get from Motueka. I also get that from Cascade, New Zealand Cascade, that is. Has this like dank melon vibe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, this smells so fucking good. If you don't like dank beers, then yeah, I can already tell this is gonna be a very dank beer, but like in the nose, it's like another level. There's like an accentuation of like this vanilla note. Now I don't know what Paradisi brings to the table. I think I've had it once or twice in other beers. I think I may have reviewed it a couple times, but it's usually used in conjunction with other hops, just like this one is. So I don't know what this is bringing to the table. I also get a little bit of like a overripened, like peppery mango skin. Shout out to DJ over at DJ's Brew Tube, very good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, and a fellow beer tuber who doesn't post all that often. But shout out to DJ. It smells fucking just. This smells so good. This is what I expected when I'm dipping my toes in the secondary market. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. If you are somebody who likes ranky dank double IPAs, you need to get yourself some Noble Savage because they're 2 for $3 on this ranky. When I'm talking dank, I'm talking dank. And I'm not talking like marijuana or like weed. I'm talking just like, again, onion, like scallions, green onion, garlic. It just has that like, it's just so dank. Body on this might not be as good as the other two I've had from them, because I said the two things that, even though I like the first one much better than the second one, their body and mouthfeels are spectacular. This is a little bit lacking in comparison to those beers. This is like medium, touch over medium body, 8%. I think it's fine for what it is, but it doesn't move me like the other bodies did. Mouthfeel is still smooth and creamy, but it has a more carbonation. It's like moderate, touch over moderate. Has a spritzy kind of effervescent kind of feel. So if you're somebody who loves like palate coating bodies to these, double IPAs and these crazy hazy beers, and you like that soft, smooth, creamy kind of vibe, this beer specifically isn't bringing that to the table. But I still think it's a really nice mouthfeel. Body is a bit thin, but I still think it's appropriate for the ABV. So the body and mouthfeel aren't bad at all. It's just not upper echelon, kind of what I'm used to. But the taste is, and that's what really matters. Forefront. A little bit of white bread, very touch of like a white bread kind of sweetness. Dives underneath the palate. Never to really be heard from again, but like it hits me right at the front and just leaves. But then again, that citrus I was getting, you could say all different kinds of grapefruit, but it's more like a zesty kind of pithy grapefruit. But then I get orange juice, tangerine juice, something in that realm. As it passes through, I get a huge blast, to me anyway, of a stone fruit, like a mango into like a peach. Overripen, a little bit of like a peppery note, and then midway through the palate, a big pop to me of honeydew melon. And a lot of times when I say honeydew, I say, oh, closer to the rind, blah, blah, blah. No, this is sweet honeydew. But then as it transitions into the finish, that's where like the rindy kind of bittering kind of melon note hits. But then my palate is enveloped by a huge dank quality. Again, you could say scallions, green onion, garlic. There's this resinous tone, but it's really ranky and dank on the finish for me. The beauty about this one is not overly sweet. Like a lot of these double and triple IPAs, no matter who's producing them that are hazies, they can lean too sweet. They don't have enough dryness. They don't have enough bitterness. This one isn't that sweet to begin with, so you don't really need a huge pop of dryness or a huge pop of bitterness to try to balance out all that sweet, malty goodness that you get at the forefront. It kind of drives the beer. And that's a really good thing, because if this was too sweet, it would start to lose me a little bit. But as is, the balance is definitely there. It might even lean a little bit more dry and bitter than you would anticipate for a beer like this. This is a unique beer that's not only unique, but also extremely delicious. It kind of reminds me of the Root and Branch Strangled Batch 4 that I reviewed recently, that was part of this the secondary haul. That Root and Branch was very unique, and it really helped the beer, but it was also great. The body mouthfeel fantastic, but it was just unique. This is another one of those unique beers where it's like, I think Noble Savage's MO for me from the 3 beers I've had is that dankness is really prominent in their beers. But you get something like this, it kind of stands out from the crowd, where, yeah, there's other hazy producers that could put something like this out, but they don't all that often. And I think that's what I appreciate about this beer specifically. It's a fucking delicious beer. I love the fact that so many times when I drink hazies, I'm sitting here after the review, or maybe after I take a couple sips, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to drink the rest of that. Is it going to become too sweet? Is there just too much? That's not happening here. I'm going to drink the rest of this probably in like 15, 20 minutes, and wish I had another. Definitely better than that OG's, Killers, and Champions for myself personally. But if you're somebody who, again, doesn't like that huge dankness, then I would probably stay away from this one. I thought I dropped my microphone. Like looking back, I'm like, oh no, it's here. What the fuck's wrong with me? 8% too. I'm not even getting a warming in the chest. Nothing on the palate. This hides the alcohol incredibly well. All right, one more sip and then I got to lock it in, because I'm already in the 4 or 5 range. But where am I in the 4 or 5 range? Tell you what, I do have the Dreamer's Disease. One more beer. Wish I had another beer that was as good as this. And I might, because I have one more from them. I have 2 more from Root and Branch, and I got 1 more from Tess. So far, I've reviewed, after this one, 4 of the 8, so half of them. 2 Noble Savage, 1 Root and Branch, 1 Test. The other Noble Savage was good, but a little bit disappointing based on what I know Noble Savage. Root and Branch was delicious. The Test, that was the first beer I ever had, definitely disappointing. I got to keep it, one hundo with you. Okay? Keep it a buck. None of the kids say that. But that test was definitely disappointing. I got one other from them. I'm hoping it's a little bit better. This is right in the realm of what I expect out of Noble Savage. It has that juicy, fruity goodness, but the finish is so rank and dank. Very well balanced. Body and mouthfeel aren't outstanding, but appropriate for the style. It just, this one's all about, to me, the aromatics and the taste, which is the key thing when it comes to drinking beer. Like, you want the aroma to be good, you want the taste. The body and mouthfeel, they can bring a beer down, they can prop it up, but it doesn't matter as much as how does this beer taste? This beer tastes awesome. So, Noble Savage, they're a dreamer's disease. I am going to give this a high 4.5 and go 4.55. This is fantastic. Up there with that psychedelic dinosaur, which I think was just an IPA at like 7.5%. This is 8%. You really can't tell. Like, the body and mouthfeel don't even tell you it's 8%. Again, you don't really get any alcohol on the palate, none in the chest. So this is deceptively drinkable, because it's like, it's 8%. You don't want to just slam it back, but I could drink all of this on camera without question. I just won't, because there's no reason to. I want to savor it. I only got one can of it. It was hard to get. So yeah, I'm going to say 4.55 out of 5. Awesome beer. All right, price point availability. So I'm going to shout out Heat Miser Brews on Instagram. That's where I got it on the secondary. He gets typically Noble Savage. Noble Savage. I always want to say Noble Savage. It's Noble Savage, Yosef. Noble Savage. Root and Branch. He gets his hands on tests occasionally, some other breweries. So if you want to check out some secondary stuff, hit him up on Instagram. As far as what this costs from the brewery, $27 a 4-pack is what a lot of their beers go for. You're talking almost $7 a can. I paid like maybe a buck more on the secondary for that, so not too bad. And so, again, whether you go secondary or try to get it from the brewery, it's hard to get either way, but it's very hard to get from the brewery. So getting on the secondary is a bit easier. What I pay, like, I ended up paying like $9, just under $9 for a can of this delivered to my house. It was worth it to try it once. Would I pay that again? Probably not, because it's expensive. But again, get harder to get stuff, secondary market stuff. You're gonna pay a premium. But right from the brewery, it's almost $7 a can. So paying like what I did, like $8.75, and that's delivered. That's factoring the actual price to have it delivered. Like, it's just, I didn't get ripped off on this. Let's just say that. And availability, again, I'm pretty sure Noble Savage is brewery only. You can't even like order online and have it delivered to your house like Root and Branch. So you got to get the secondary market. So, or again, be in the New York City, Long Island region to actually check out the brewery when they do a release. So huge thanks to Heat Miser for all these beers. It's been a lot of fun. It's funny, I reviewed the first one I reviewed from him. I posted on tab. I gave it 4.2. I was like, not mind-blowing. And he replied like, sorry, it wasn't mind-blowing. Listen, when you're trying out new beers in general, not everything's gonna be mind-blowing. I just appreciate the chance to try it, and I didn't have to pay an arm and leg for it. There's some people that will do secondary market and it's $10 to $15 a can. Like, no fucking way. Not him. He hooked me up for a very fair price for having it delivered to my front door. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. I got one more from Noble Savage, 2 more from Root and Branch, and 1 from Test. Hopefully they're as delicious as this one. Look at the glass lacing is absolutely phenomenal as well. One more sip. Just let me make sure I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Is it correct? Yeah, that dangness. It's like finishes with like this melon, this ranky dank melon character, like a honeydew, but maybe more a cantaloupe. I said honeydew, might be more cantaloupe, but yeah, this is fucking delicious. Yeah. I mean, I understand where hazies are in terms of hype and what people seek out and whatnot. A lot of times the hype doesn't resonate with me, but like a beer like this, if someone's like, oh, you got to try Noble Savage, and this was the first beer I had from them, I'm like, I totally understand the hype. It is what it is. I'm going to shut this one down. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers. Did I say this finishes like semi to full-on dry with a mild bitterness? It's more like a mild to moderate bitterness that I'm drinking on this. Because I think I said it wasn't overly sweet, but I didn't really touch on the dryness or the bitterness. This is pretty well balanced overall. We'll just leave it there. Till the next one. Cheers.